Hello friends, in this I'm going to explore about the string class in Java. It's a very important, interesting concept. A string, we can say, it's a sequence of characters. For example, welcome, name is a string of 4 characters. So in Java, string is an immutable object, which means it is constant and cannot be changed once it has been created. So we'll learn about string class and string methods in detail along with many other Java string methods. So how to create the string? We already have seen we have accepted the string values, but we have not manipulated it. String example strings. So in two ways we can initialize the string. First using the literal and another one is using the new keyword. So we'll see first directly, we'll initialize the value. For example, I'll write the ID tools. And another one I'll declare ID tools. Now here, what we have done, we have created the two different variables and we have initialized the same content to both the strings. So what will happen in this case? As I stated, string is immutable object. We cannot change the value of the object again. So here we'll consider that these both are the objects, string 1 and string 2. So however, we have not created any string object using the new keyword. So the compiler does that task for us. It creates the string object having the string literal, that is IT tools, and assign it to the provided string instances. But if the object already exists in the memory, it does not create a new object, rather it assigns the same old object to the new instance. That means, suppose if here the str1 is created already and it is holding the IT tools value. Now str2 also holding the IT tools, that means the same content, and we have not created these instances using the new keyword. So that means even though we have two string instances, str1 and str2, compiler only created on string object having the value IT tools and assigned the same to both the instances. So for example, if there are 10 string instances that have same value, it means that in the memory there is only one object having the value and all the 10 string instances would be pointing to the same object. So what if I want to have two different objects with the same string? For that, we would need to create the string using the new keyword. That means instead of this, if I'll create, we'll take the same here if I write the new string, in that case it will create the different memory allocation for both the object. Okay. So if we want if we want different memory allocation for different objects, then we'll create the instance using the new keyword. If we want to point the same reference to the object, in that case we'll initialize the value like this. Now if we have, we can simply display this. I'll show you. str1 str2. Okay, now if we have the character array, char array, and char array will hold, for example, hello. Okay, if I want this array in a string format, I can directly take it like this. I can convert that array to the string. And will display the string. Okay, now it is displaying the complete string. So we can directly initialize the character array in the constructor of the string, and it will convert that array values into the string. If you have any doubt, you can post it in a comment regarding this. Now we'll move ahead. String provides us the many methods. It's around 45 to 46 methods. We'll go one by one. Using that, we can manipulate the string value. So first method, string provides that char at. The char method returns the character of that particular position, and we have to pass the index to char method. So if I'm passing str1 dot char at, so at third position, what is there? 0, 1, 2, 3, O. So it should return O. Okay, it's returning us O. It will return the character of that particular position. Then it provides us the equals method, as I discussed with you in the previous example. Like I'll tell this method in the string session. So what this equals method does, we'll see the difference between the equal to and equals method. If I use the str1 object dot equals str2, and same if we do it for equals. Okay, so what it will return, we'll check that. You can observe here, first it is returning the false, and after that it is returning the true, and exactly the result must be true because the content is same in both the variables. So equal to compares the hash code of two different objects, and equals method compares the content. So whenever we want to compare the objects, we'll go for the equals method. Now string provides the equals ignore case. That means if I give here capital I, then first equal method will return the false because the content is not same. In one the I is small and in one the I is capital. So Java provides us the equals ignore case. And to this we'll pass the str2. Okay, so equals is giving false and equals ignore case giving true. So ignore case will ignore your capital and small. If it is I, it will return a true. Okay, and equals will, yes, the capital small matters in that case because it compares the ASCII value. Now it provides the compare to method. So compare to method returns the integer format value. If both the strings are equal, it will return the 0. If string 1 is greater than the string 2, it will return the positive integer value. If string 2 is greater than the string 1, then it will return the negative integer value. So why it is returning negative? Because here I is small and ASCII value of I is greater than capital I. Do you people have idea about the ASCII value? If you don't have, please go through it. Now it is equal, so it is giving 0. ASCII value for capital A to Z is number 65 to 90. For small a to Z, it is 97 to 122. And for integer, it is 48 to 56. Now, like the compare to, it provides the compare to ignore case also. You can try that. Another method provides is starts with. We can check that is our string is starting with particular character or string. Starts with, for example, IT. So if it is starting with the IT, it will return the true. Like the starts with, the ends with also there. We can check that is the string value is ending with some particular string or not. So this both method will return the true and false value. If it is starting, it will return the true. If it is ending, it will return the true. Okay. For starts with, we can check, we can pass the index also. Suppose if more than, suppose 20 to 30 lines are there and I want to check the string after the 2 lines, then that index I can specify. I want you to try that method. Starts with the index. Index of method returns the index of particular character or a string which you specified in that argument. So if I do the IT, or suppose if I do the double O, it returns the 3 because first O occurs at the third position. Like the index of, last index of is also there. If we use the index of, it gives the first occurrence of that character or string, and if we use the last index of, it gives the last occurrence of that particular string. Okay, so it's returning the 4. The last O is present at 4th position. Substring. Substring method returns some particular characters from the string. If I specified 3rd to 5th only characters I want, in that case it will return only that particular sequence, 3rd and 4th position. So it will not consider your last index, that means 5th. If I specify here 6, okay, it will give us 3 character. If I use a substring and will not specify any end index, we'll just specify the begin index. In that case, it will return the string till the end. Okay, hello LO. If you take str1, it should return okay OOLS. So in both way we can use the substring method. If you have any doubt, you can post it in a comment. There are more methods that we'll see in the next session. Thank you very much.